What's up, guys? I have got some things to show you, some little things I want to show you about living minimally, about traveling minimally, about packing, specifically traveling and packing minimally. I have 5 tips, tricks, hacks, just the tip that I want to give to you about how do we do this well. Because I've been doing it for like almost 3 years, 4 years now. And then for the last year, I've been doing it with my family, all of us, living minimally on the road. It's been incredible. We've learned a lot of stuff. Okay, so my first 2 tips are a little more conceptual, are a little bigger picture. I want you to, I think they're really, really, really important. And then the last 3 are just hard, specific tactics, okay? Just like things that, like specific things that I have learned that you can apply right now. Okay, you ready to want to get into it? You want to do the minimal travel thing? Because the whole thing is like if you can travel minimally, there is a freedom that comes with it. There's like a mind expansion that can come with it in some ways, but just a freedom. And when you travel, for instance, in Europe, minimally, and you just go through that sort of thing, or maybe in South America or Central America, just in Mexico or to fucking Utah or Santa Fe or something like that. When you have your first plane flight with a smaller bag that fits under the seat in front of you, for example, so you can be the last person on the plane. You can be the last person on the plane because you have a minimal travel bag. You can just walk right on, put your bag underneath the seat in front of you. You put on your Bluetooth headphones, you're chilling, you're doing your thing. You look around you and you realize like everybody is stressed out about travel. Everyone. But you've prepared. You've got some snacks or something. Like one of my favorite tricks is like to have a little bit of chocolate. Chocolove chocolate. I'll put the link in the description below. Is my favorite bite per penny, so to speak. And sometimes you do all the work. You get on the plane and you pull out your little chocolate bar because your bag is right there under the seat in front of you, and you've got a little pocket in it that's like just for snacks. And you pull out your thing. This is all like pro shit you'll learn to do yourself over time. And you'll look around and everybody's kind of freaking out or stressful, and you're just in a great state of mind. And to be able to travel in a great state of mind means you're going to arrive there and you're just like, you're ready to roll. So anyways, I've got these 5 tips on how to be just like ready to roll. Just ready to roll. Just like, don't have to be stressed. You can think through some things so you're not surprised by it and you don't have to be stressed, okay? Let's get into them. All right, the first tip is I want you to try to make minimal stuff, like minimal travel, make minimalization a part of your life right now. And the way I want to frame this is I want you to start minimizing for fun right now. I want you to start minimizing for fun. What do we mean here? This is what I did, and it changed my life completely, utterly, totally, and completely. Have you ever heard of a capsule wardrobe? I don't even know if I'm using the term right. All I heard was there was this thing where you limit your closet to 33 things for 33 days. And so I did it. I minimized my closet just to 33 things. That includes socks. Like that I think I included like a pair of sock counted as one thing. I like that, pair of sock. But I did this, and there's a resource I want to give to you on this. Now, this is potentially more work than you need to do right now. The quickest, dirtiest thing is just minimize your life to 33 things in your closet right now. Start today. Don't wait till you go on a travel. Start right now. And here's the trick. We're just doing it for 30 days or 33 days or whatever. And the whole thing is you get your stuff, pick your 33 items, whatever there. That includes shoes, that includes socks, that includes like, I think maybe you can include that like to be watches and wallets or some shit like that. But you just do like all of your clothes and your underwear and socks and shoes. 33 things. That's it. For 30 days. You can kind of do anything for 3 days, right? Can you do it for 30 days? This is where, that's where the learning happens. Here's the trick on this. Okay, you get all your stuff. Here's the 33 things I'm going to keep. Everything else goes into a huge garbage bag, but we're not going to throw it away. We're not going to get rid of it. We're just going to put it in some closet where we're not going to see it. We can go back and get into it anytime we want. So we're not getting rid of these things. We're just putting them in like a container somewhere. We're just getting them out of our daily experience. And that in and of itself, getting it out of your daily experience will already go like, holy shit. It'll free up so much mental capacity. I swear, it'll likely blow your mind. Everyone I've done it with, their mind's been blown. Me, myself personally, when I first did it, my mind blown. I can't find my mind. I've lost my marbles. Now, hold on. Before you like just go like, this guy's just rambling on about doing, I just want to know how to pack for my trip. I want to let you know that starting this right now is what makes packing for the trip so much easier. Because guess what? In just about any bag, any travel bag, I'm someone who reviews bags for a living. I'm way into travel bags and daily carry bags. I have at bagworks.co all the travel bags that I've reviewed just about every travel bag. And what I've learned is when your life is minimal, when your wardrobe is capsulated, when it's easy for you to just, you know what you have and you can grab basically all of it and throw it into a bag, you can travel in close to any bag. And being able to travel in a smaller bag that fits under the airline seat in front of you, for example, means you can be the last person on the plane. You don't have to wait for overhead compartment. You don't have to do any of that other crap. You can be the last person on the plane. It makes such a difference in travel. And all of this is made so much easier by this first point. We just start minimizing for fun right now. Now, I have a resource for you, and it is probably one you're familiar with. It's that one that the whole concept of does it spark joy comes from, all right? It's Marie Kondo's The Life-Changing Magic of Tidying Up. She does this whole thing with the closet and the things. I highly recommend it. I totally did it. I have like pictures on my Instagram for years ago when I first did that. So the first tip here is just start minimizing now. And the game, let's make it fun. The game is let's just do 30 days, okay? 33 things. 33 things for 30 days or 33 days, whatever. You could take it as long as you want. Okay, I'll put a link in the description below to that book, the Marie Kondo's Life-Changing Magic of Tidying Up. Also, she has a Netflix show right now, which I watched the first episode of, and it was great. I actually kind of like cried a little bit because she really affects this family's life. It's a big deal. I'll put links to those below in the description, links to everything that I'm mentioning here in the description of YouTube below. Let's get on to the next point. Okay, this is a kind of a weird one. My first 2 points are sort of like conceptual or more larger points, and then we're going to get into a couple specifics. But the second one is let it take time and let it take money. The point here is let's actually get it right. Let's spend a little time. Let's spend a little money to figure out what works for us. Okay? One of the tips that's coming up later on is having a great pair of pants. I'm getting ahead of myself in some ways, but you've got to spend the time to find what that pair of pants is. And you got to spend the money to find it as well. Let those two things happen, especially that last one with the money. What comes to mind for me on that is like, do you ever hear about this? Steve Jobs had like a uniform thing. It's a common thing that's like throughout history, you see all these like, geniuses or really, really productive people. They realize they're wasting energy on dressing themselves every day. They realize they're wasting energy thinking about what they'll wear today, and they make it easy for them. They just have one thing that they wear. There's that kind of black shirt. I have 5 of those. There's that kind of jean. I have 3 of those. Steve Jobs was like this apparently and had a kind of uniform so that he just didn't have to think about that. Now, I'm not one for like a black mock neck turtleneck like Steve Jobs, but I didn't mind his tennis shoes and jeans. The thing is, whether or not you know it, you don't like wearing clothes that you don't like. You just don't. There's certain kinds of clothing, there's certain kinds of a costume or an aesthetic or a thing that you feel more comfortable in, you feel more at home in your own skin in. Let it take time to find that. Let it take a little money to find that. Why? Because it's an investment, okay? Do you know how a lot of things in life, there's investments in life that you make. You make investments in relationships where you're spending time, you're helping, you're working with, you're in relationship. It's a give and take. And over time, this relationship comes to mean so much to you. The point is, I want you to let it take a little time and a little money to find the clothes, for example, or the bag or the thing that works really well for you, because it's an investment. In the sense that when you get it right and you don't have to think about it again and you don't have those worries just naturally coming up again, you can have less of your mental bandwidth like thinking about bullshit like what you should wear, what bag you should like whether or not you're satisfied or not with your gear for travel. So let it take time means like is related to the first one in that we're starting now and we're not done yet. Right? We're just going to let it take time. We're going to learn over time. What you might find is you shift and change over time. That's an important part of it as well. But the second point is actually allowing yourself to spend a little money on stuff to get it right, to feel like you're in the right spot, like you've got the right clothing or gear or something for you. And one of the biggest tricks for this is, most of us are shopping online. A lot of us are shopping online, especially for travel gear, especially for backpacks and stuff like that, but for clothing as well. Like I do almost all my clothing shopping online. And the trick that I found there is I just clear this with my wife. I'm like, listen, I'm going to spend quite a bit right now, but I'm going to be sending back a good deal of this. So if there's a pair of pants that I want to try, well, turns out I'll probably get them in the slim and in the straight cut, probably in the 34. If they have a 33, I might add a 33 as well. I order all those, they come in, I send back the worst ones. I typically only keep the one best one. This is a way in which I allow it to myself to spend money, knowing that like I'll be sending some stuff back. This is just like an honest, like when I thought about what are the biggest tips I can give someone on like living minimally or specific minimal travel, packing for minimal travel specifically, because when you're traveling minimally, you are traveling in a way that's very different than other kinds of travel. It is much more of a psychedelic. It is much more of a mind expanding experience that way, and it can change your entire life. I don't know why, but there's something about realizing you don't need the things you think you need that just takes you somewhere different. And having been to that place changes the rest of your life in some small and meaningful way. And so when I'm thinking about those tips, I'm like, the first thing is start minimizing now, make it a part of your regular life, do it for fun, minimize your life, not just for travel. There's a ton of meaning that comes from that. You should check out the Minimalism Documentary. I'll put a link to that in the description below. I'm not like a massive minimalization guy, but there's something to be said about, man, when you figure out what you actually need and you have the stuff that you need, and just it's not about, what did I say recently in a video? It's not about not having a lot of stuff. It's about only having what you actually need. There's huge distinction between those two. Minimalism is not having a lot of stuff. Minimalism is having only what you need, or even only what you want. It's being intentional with the things that you have. So my first 2 points are just start already, have fun with it. Go for the 33 things for 33 days thing. It'll like, you'll love it. At the end of it, you'll be like, I'm so glad I did that. Even if you put everything back in your closet, you'll be glad you did it. And then the second thing is allow it to take a little time, allow it to take a little money to get your shit right, to get your, like if I have 33 things in my closet and I typically I'll have like 40. I think I'm at like 40 now. I did this like a year or two ago, and I've slowly sort of added things on and taken things out, and you kind of are constantly a little bit of refining going on. And I allow myself to invest in that, both with time, effort, and some money, because it pays dividends down the road for me. It helps me to just know what I'm putting on in the day. I walk into the closet, everything works together. I like my uniform. I like my outfit. I can step into my day as a father, as a husband, as an entrepreneur, and I can just kind of like focus on the things that matter. So those first things are just like the kind of conceptual, the sort of philosophical. That's where, honestly, it's where I think most of the meat and potatoes of this packing for minimal travel really is in how you need to do it. The next 3 tips are a little more specific to me that you're probably going to get some mileage out of. But again, the whole thing is this is in life, as with fatherhood or motherhood, as with being in a relationship, as you cannot learn, here's like specifically about being a dad. I'll speak to you men out there. You cannot learn how to be a dad, but you can learn how to teach yourself to be a father. Do you see the distinction there? Nobody can teach you how to be a dad. That's not what your son or daughter is asking from you. They're asking for you to be you as a father, right? So you can't learn from someone else how to be a father, but you can learn how to teach yourself to be the kind of father that you are. And I'm saying the same thing is true here with minimalism and travel, which is not about minimalism and it's not about travel. It's about your kit. It's about the stuff you take with you through life. And my metaphor for this is always the indigenous old school, like back in the day, the aboriginals, the natives, the people of the land that were like, it's like, who's the Native American scout? Like the Lakota scout, right? He's got a leather satchel, or she has a leather satchel, and it's like, what is in the satchel? As a scout, he might be gone for 3 days, 3 hours, 3 months. What is in the fucking satchel? What's the kit? That person knows what they need to bring to survive, because there's bears and there's jaguars and snakes and deer, and we got to hunt and we got to make things to like make shelters, and it's this subsistence, right? It's this living off the land. It's this kind of thing. We're doing the same thing today. We're doing, except for like the land I live off of is like, the economy, the internet, the news cycle, the product cycles. I don't know what your business is, but it's a similar kind of thing. And I think we do better the more meaning and intention we bring to our kit. And this is what minimal travel is really like. It is like having an understanding and an intention and awareness around your kit. Okay, so start now, make it fun, do the 33 things for 33 days thing, and then allow it to take a little time, allow it to take a little money, allow it to take a little effort. Realize that putting some of your mental bandwidth into finding the things that are right for you, that you feel good about, will pay dividends down the line. Okay, here's my next tip. See these guys? These are undies that for some reason don't absorb the funk as much as other undies could. That's my tip, okay? These are specific ones I'll tell you about, but I think the specifics don't really matter as much as just the general idea that like you're gonna have underwear on, and this goes for you too, ladies, and I know this is a big one. This is like a hard, I think women's underwear is like, if you can, the thing is, every lady knows it. Like, you got to find your own pair. You got to find the thing that works for you. You got to like feel at home in those undies. Not that they're just comfortable, but something about the thing is, for me, if I can wear these for several days in a row and they're not so funky, then it allows me to have more days. It just allows me to have more days. It might be a gross thing for you to think about, but there's something about this fabric on these Exoficio undies. I'll put a link to these in the description below. I have used these for about 5 years. I have used these, like this specific pair has probably been around for 5 years. This is like Christmas present from my mom 5 years ago. And I probably have 5 pairs of them. And when I travel, I'll typically take 2, right? I have 5 pairs so that like I can have a laundry cycle in there. But like I will rewear undies a lot. That's just a thing that a lot of us minimal travelers do. There's not a sense in changing your underwear every day. There just isn't. So you want to find underwear made out of a material that doesn't gross you out to wear it multiple times in a row. Now, maybe you have some sort of groinal leakage of some kind in terms of your sweat glands or something that like just makes this undoable, untenable. And I get it. No bad. Like that's just what it's like for some people. But I just look back at my life and the travel for the last years. We've been traveling minimally for a year with my whole family together, and living in Airbnbs throughout the country and stuff. And then before that, it's like underwear has always been a very minimal thing for me. And so if that's just, the thing that's weird about this is undies, you could fold and roll your undies up, right? And they don't take up very much space at all. So I could arguably bring 10 pairs of undies and it wouldn't take up that much space. But something about it just psychologically is clear for me, knowing that what's in my bag in terms of clothes is going to be probably 1 or 2 pairs of undies max, and then the one that I'm wearing when I travel. Because then the rest is I don't wear socks with my shoes. That's another. But I'll bring a pair of socks often. I'll just have them like shoved away in my bag somewhere, a pair of wool socks. But I don't wear them every day, and it's just more ways that I'm finding like I don't need that stuff. And my feet don't stink that much. My booty doesn't stink all that much. Don't get me wrong. Everybody's booty stinks. Everybody's booty stinks. I was tweeting about this the other day. It was like, you know what? With the gender question that's going on and all the things that we're learning about that, you can't be too sure about male, female, penis, vagina, what we're working with. But I guarantee you, just about everyone you'll ever meet has a butthole. That might be a little harsh to hear, but we're the same, you guys. We're the same. We all got buttholes and we're all weird about our buttholes. And I guess that comes up naturally when you're talking about undies. The thing I'm getting at here is just being specific about your undies and finding a fabric. This is just totally practical. Just a fabric that doesn't get too funky. That's a big deal. All right, let's move on to the next one. Okay, the next one is sort of interesting. Let me do this for you. Got to pull these off so you can actually see them. The point is this. 1 pair of pants that you really, really love. Okay, these are my current favorite pair of pants. Basically, the favorite pair of pants I've ever owned in my entire life. Like, and I've owned lots of pants. I was a selvage denim guy for forever because fucking I love being cool or something, even though it's really uncomfortable and super expensive and all that other stuff. I just liked the utility of a pair of jeans that was made out of thick stuff so you could wear it for forever. But I always blew out the crotches on these great jeans, really nice, great, but I would just, my big old thighs would just rub together and burn holes. So I switched out to more affordable, more stretchy, a little more comfortable stuff. And the best thing I found is these black jeans from Marine Layer. Okay, this is the straight fit. It's a 32. And I'm not normally a 32, so thanks, Marine Layer. Okay, Marine Layer is this sort of San Francisco tech brand of soft, comfortable clothing. That's what they are. They seem to have a good story around their environmental impact, which is obviously a big thing in clothing manufacturing today. The amount of waste, the amount of inefficiencies in our clothing in the fast fashion world is like crazy. So that's why when I say allow it to spend time, allow it to spend money, there's in the back of my head this but you should probably just be satisfied with what you have because you're probably going to contribute to some sort of ecosystem that's taking advantage of some people and exploiting them for the sake of this rich people to get a $17, shirt, basic t-shirt that costs, that ends up somewhere in Africa being it's just the whole fashion thing, the whole where we get our clothes, the textiles and all this thing. It's really logistically, supply chain wise and sort of impact wise. It's a very fraught situation, and a lot of us are looking for solutions to this problem. Marine Layer has some solutions to this problem. Like they have a shirt recycling program, which is pretty interesting. But the thing about their stuff is you get their jeans. There's just something that's really soft and nice about them, but they don't look like a tech jean. They don't look like they don't feel like a kind of travel pant. They're just a regular basic black Levi 501 that's been super broken in, except it fits me a little bit better and it's a little more comfortable than Levi. Okay, my tip here is having one pair of pants, specifically a jeans. Now, I never had a pair of black jeans before. I never had a pair of black jeans before until about 6 months ago when I got these. And I have lived in these things. I have lived so hard in these jeans and they don't look worse for the wear. They're casual, but I can put on a button up and a decent pair of sneakers and a watch. And now all of a sudden, and then if I pull my hair back in a ponytail or something, all of a sudden I'm ready to go out to the gala, to the fucking cocktail party or something. And now because I can live in this one pair of pants that functionally works across a lot of different kinds of looks and aesthetics, now when I travel, half the time I don't even have another pair of pants with me. I just don't. And if you don't realize it, jeans and pants take up a lot of space in your bag. They really do. Jeans and shoes take up a ton of space in your bag. So if you can have no pants and no other shoes, you've just freed up a ton of room in your bag potentially. Okay, so getting a pair of jeans that you dig. Now, I don't know if this goes the same for women as with men, but I suspect there is definitely some crossover. Women, if you have experience with this, please chime in the comments below. But this enables a kind of real easygoing travel. Why? Because I did the work. I spent the money. I spent the time. I found a part of my wardrobe that I really like. And it's just for now. It's not going to last for forever. Maybe I'll be able to get 5 of it. Maybe the next pair of these, I'll love just as much. There's a chance that they change the cut, they change the materials or something. I won't love it as much. And it'll kind of ruin, I'll miss this and we'll have to move on to something else. I did a video before on travel pants. I did not have these at the time. I had these at the time, but I wasn't including them as a travel pant just because I had them. They were relatively new at the time when I filmed it, I think. Right now, I would say these take the cake by a long shot for my favorite travel pant. But the thing is, I don't wear them on travel. I just wear them all the time. So finding some piece of specifically bottom half of your body covering that you really love and potentially it's the only thing you take with you when you go, that can change, that can free up a lot of things for you as a minimal traveler. I'll put links to these pants below. Mine are the straight fit. They also have a slim fit. That's what I didn't know that. right? This is another one of those, let you do the work, like allow it to spend some time, allow it to spend some money. I'm going to be ordering the slim pair of these because one of my little gripes about this is it almost feels like it has a little bit of a bell bottom at the ankle. It goes a little too long, so I have to do some funky stuff with like rolling or whatever. I want to try the slim fit to see if it works even better. My hunch is it's going to be a little too slim. You know the thing? Man, anyways, finding good pants is like, we all know that struggle. There's no tips or tricks for that. It's like buy a bunch of stuff, try a bunch of stuff, send a bunch of stuff back, and stick with whatever is the least bad of all of that. And you never know, over time, that thing that was the least bad before that you just had to go with because we just needed to make a decision, you might find that over time, you create this relationship just because you did all that work to find this thing. And now there's this relationship and almost this loyalty and this commitment and camaraderie. I mean it, like that's bad, like camaraderie with your kit, with your gear, with your stuff. Like the way that these guys enable me is really it's tangible for me. I feel good in these pants, and I can put on a lot of different kinds of tops, and it looks good. I feel fine with it. It has to be said that also right now, like this is, I didn't even write this down, but it has to be said that right now, one of the reasons why I like these so much is because I wear these Nikes. I'll put a link to them below. But one of the things that just fashionably just fits in so many scenes right now is a pair of sneakers, a pair of Nikes. I have these almost like Nike Cortez inspired new version of the Nike Cortez, which is, so it's a cool, like sort of utilitarian, just all black with a white swoosh and a white sole. And honestly, they like, even in a nice outfit or whatever, they ended up looking nice. So I'll put the links to those below. I'm not ready to do like a video on like those sneakers because I don't want to necessarily support Nike. I don't want to necessarily not support. I don't really want to support them though. There's other companies like Lems who have a way better story and make great product, but they just don't have quite the right aesthetic most of the time for me. But their barefoot boot, I'll put a link in the description below to my barefoot shoes video. Lems barefoot boots. If there was a shoe that I had to for the rest of my life commit to, it would be the Lems barefoot boot. Okay, let's move on to the next one now. All right, now my fifth and final point on this video is this. Find a toiletry kit that you can live out of. Now, I use this Aer Dopp Kit. It's from Aer, A-E-R. I love it. One of the things I don't like about it is it's got like dreadlocks. So I probably would be just this, I don't know, I just haven't done it yet. I've traveled with this for like the last 6 months and I just haven't cut these off, but it's got like dreadlocks like the Predator, you know? Like for some reason I just see the Predator when I see these things doing that. But what's great about it is it's small. I left this in here just because this is another little trick. These are all my vitamins. I take like basically every weekday, like a vitamin B, a vitamin C. I've got Paul Stammet's mushrooms pill in here, which I'll put a link in the description below. Love that pill. It's just good, really supportive, mushroomy stuff. And then a probiotic. I just mix them all in here. Anytime I'm running low, I just go fill it all back up. And this just folds right up like this. I don't need any special pill thing. And I put it in there. That's easy. The thing is about a Dopp kit is you want to be as minimal as possible, but you do want the things that you need. Okay, so having a Dopp kit that you can live out of specifically relates to the size, the number of pockets and organization. Like for instance, I like having Band-Aids over here, like kept away from other stuff. Earplugs, I don't like to be near stuff, so I kind of put Band-Aids and earplugs in this little guy. Also on this side, I have like things I don't need very often, like my scissors and a beard trimmer and stuff like that. And on this side, it's the stuff that I need every day, right? Like my toothbrush and my deodorant, which by the way, just for you hippies out there, Native, can you see that? Native deodorant. I'll put a link to this in the description below. This is by far my favorite natural, anyways, doesn't have shit in it. It's bad for you. Deodorant that ends up working pretty well. Works for both my wife and I. We both live by this. The one thing that I don't have in here that I think I actually need is a better brush, because now my hair is all long and weird. And so I've got this little guy, but combing out long hair with this thing fucking sucks. I'll tell you that much right now. And so different people need different stuff in their toiletry kit. Okay, so I'm not gonna talk you through my toiletry kit right now. I'm just gonna say, find one that you can live out of. I live out of this Aer Dopp Kit. My wife lives out of the Peak Designs wash kit. These are the two that I think are the best on the market. This one's a little bit bigger, but you open it up and you've got all this organization. There's all these innovations, like your toothbrush goes in there, and there's little pockets on the outside. It can hang if you want it to. But my wife and I, wherever we live, that's what I mean. We live out of them. Like, they're on the countertop in our bathroom wherever we live. And right now we're living out of Airbnbs, and we're just about to move to Ocean Beach, San Diego for a whole year and live with another family and raise each other's kids. So check in a little while to see how we're doing. But finding a toiletry kit that you can live out of, that is both minimal and big enough, that has like enough organization for you, but not too much. So you're like wondering, like, what should I use this pocket for? It's a big deal because it's the last thing that goes in my bag. It's the first thing that comes out of it. It's often something I might need to grab in transit, right? To get at the pit stick deodorant, or to brush my teeth, or to get, I don't know, some chapstick or something that I might have in here. Your Dopp Kit is your everyday thing. You use it I use it every night before I go to bed, every morning, often when I wake up, right? It's like, it's a thing. So paying attention to what you need there and living out of one of these for a little while, even if you're not traveling, could be a great way to practice minimalizing. And then eventually you might find yourself in a situation like my wife and I, where it's like we just like left our house and we're renting that out, and all of our big like drawers full of shit that we had accumulated in our bathroom, turns out we just literally don't need any of that. We just don't. We do travel with another little kit that's like our first aid kind of kit. We have like some homeopathic stuff in there, and we have some essential oil stuff in there, but then also like Tylenols and baby cough syrups and stuff like that. That's like a separate family rig. Okay, so this was supposed to be a short little thing. It ended up getting a little rambly just because this stuff is so titillating to me. There's a lot of risk in travel. It's not risky, but there is risk. There's complications, or maybe a better word for it is there's complexity in travel. There is complexity in travel. And when we step into complexity willfully, you might just get your life changed. It's like meeting someone at the bar and stepping into complexity and asking her what her name is. It's like, who knows what could happen? I have 2 kids now. How did that happen? It happened because I stepped into complexity. That's why. And when you get your mind changed about something, or you get your mind blown or expanded, oftentimes because you stepped into complexity in some ways by taking 5 grams of mushrooms in a dark room all by yourself. That'll expand your mind. Now, I suspect you have a lot more questions about minimal travel. Put them in the comments below, and I might do another video where I might answer them right there. You certainly need to know about different bags that are options for you as a traveler. And specifically, I'm going to put links below to a couple different things. One is just the large travel bag. I've traveled with almost all these large travel bags. I've reviewed and have videos on each one, and I've got a page that's like, here's my favorite ones. Put that in the link description below. Put that link in the description below at this time code. I'll also, though, put a link to my new hybrids travel bags. Now, these are travel bags that work great as a travel bag. And then when you get there, you pull your packing cubes and shit like that out. And now all of a sudden you have a daily carry bag. You didn't have to bring a second bag. You just have a bag that works great as a daily carry bag. It's both a travel bag and a daily carry bag. It is a hybrid bag. I'll put a link below to my page on that. I think these are some of the funnest bags to travel with. They're for both pro minimal people as well as people who are just getting into minimal travel. And then I also have the page of all the big travel bags, which is oftentimes when I'm traveling with my family, I have a big travel bag with a little bag packed inside. I'll also put a link to my packable travel bags, which are those bags that you put inside of a larger travel bag. So you have a daily travel bag when you get there. This is like the biggest, not the biggest trick. The biggest trick is do the capsule wardrobe thing. That'll change your whole world. That'll change your whole life. It'll get you on the path, so to speak. But the other thing is when you find a bag that is like, maximum carry-on size, if you need that much space. I'm always traveling with a family, so like I've got, my kids' stuff is in my bag. So I need a big bag. It's going in the overhead compartment. But when I travel by myself, I use a smaller hybrid travel bag. Oftentimes just like a Synapse 25, which is not a travel bag. It's just a bag that happens to be an awesome bag and have enough space for me to bring what I need for travel, because I have minimalized. I know what I need to bring. And this is the main thing about minimal travel. Knowing what you need to bring versus having a bag that's this size and wondering how much you can fit in it. Do you see the distinction there? Travel with what you need and then do the work to find what you actually need. Because there's probably a lot of stuff you think you need that you don't actually need. Does that make sense? I hope it does. I'll put the links to everything below. Definitely check out the hybrid travel bag page. And subscribe to the channel here if you like this conversation. If you're into it, this is sort of a weird video for me because normally I'm really high energy and showing you some product. I just wanted to give some of my, I don't know, I made some lists and I was like, well, let's just share this. This would be helpful for some people. So if it was, hope it was. If it was, let me know. Thank you guys. Love you. Bye-bye.
Bagworks.co, jacereeves.net.
Those are the websites.
I guess those are the websites.
Yeah, I
he's
guess
wanting
so.
us to, I guess, go check out what he's up to or something like that. Yeah, looks nice.